everybody. Mel is back from Slovakia.
I'm back.
So
And
tell us about your trip.
it was an incredible trip.
Okay, that's enough. Now,
Okay,
I'm
onward and
just
upward.
teasing. I'm just teasing.
My friend Eva Skorpikova, she's a pranic healer. She's excellent at it, and she teaches pranic healing, and she also has a little office at my office. And we've been talking about years for doing, for the last 15 years for going to Slovakia, Czech Republic to, she'll teach pranic healing. I'll do a little seminar on forgiveness and stuff like that. So finally, she put it together, and we did it in Slovakia in this little town called Trenčín, and it was a valley, and the Carpathian Mountains were all around. And one day we went to the sulfur baths, and I had a little bit of gout acting up in my toe, and I swear when I got out of that sulfur bath, it was gone. It was incredible. Anyway, when I finished the seminar, Eva Skorpikova translated for me, and a bunch of people came up and they said, "Tell Linda Linda, hello. We watch on YouTube." And the funny part is we don't understand exactly what you're saying, but we like to watch.
They don't have any ability to have it turned into their language on YouTube?
That I don't know.
Wow. They could probably get closed caption in their language.
I don't know, really. Slovak and Czech, they're very difficult languages, but but I want to say thank you to Petra and her husband Kuba. They let us stay in their home for a couple days, and there's a place where we stayed. It's a place, it's like it's kind of like a spa, but people go there and they fast for 9 days, and they're closed during the summer. So they open it up for us to do our seminars. And that was Dagmar and her husband. And it was an incredible place. And then Katarina and her boyfriend, I'm mispronouncing his name, Machao, helped arrange everything along with Eva, and it was just incredible. Then I went to the UK for a couple of days, and I checked out this place called Langshot Manor. It's almost 600 years old, and I felt spirit presence there, and I stayed there just to check it out and think about maybe, doing something there. So you know me, I'm always checking out stuff. So.
Right, that's great.
But I loved it that people came up in Slovakia and said that we watch you with Linda G.
Yeah.
I'm like, yay, keep watching.
Hi, everybody in Slovakia.
And the Czech Republic and my friends in the UK.
Now, what about food? What was the food like in Slovakia?
Well, the food was incredibly delicious, but Eva told me that in the Czech Republic and Slovakia, they're, I think, the #1 countries in the world for colon cancer, because it's a lot of carbs, a lot of carbs.
It is.
Oh my God. I had this pork with this cranberry dressing with these bread dumplings. Oh my God. It was incredibly delicious.
What did they eat for breakfast?
Well, a lot of people that did the pranic healing don't eat meat, so they were eating like veggies. But Dagmar said, "I know you eat meat, Mel." So she went out and she bought these little ham slices for me, and so I'd have scrambled eggs, my little ham slices.
There you go.
A lot of bread.
Yeah.
Machao, I think, was he was a cook in Austria, and he made bread. It is the best bread I've ever
imagine. Yeah.
It was the best bread I've ever eaten in my entire life. It was incredible.
Listen, God bless the people in Europe, because right now Greece is on fire.
Yeah, I know. The only thing I wanted to say about it, and I'll let it go after this, is that, we did a thing on forgiveness, and it was all about opening up. And they said that a lot of times people have a hard time opening up because Up until 1989, it was Czechoslovakia. Now it's two separate countries, but it was communist, and it was really, really heavily communistic. And so people were afraid to open up. And now they really cherish their democracy.
Oh, good.
And I thought, we can learn that lesson here. Because up until 1948, Czechoslovakia was a democratic country, and then the communists took over. And it's up to us to make sure that doesn't happen here in the United States.
Right.
Like, make sure Trump doesn't win. So they really cherish their democracy, and it was incredible.
That's wonderful.
Yep.
That's wonderful. So, where was I go? Oh, our event is sold out.
Our event is sold out. We are taking names for a waiting list. So yay.
I was shocked when you came back, you said it's sold +1, and you were
Yep.
talking about maybe adding a few more, but I like to keep it less.
Well, I like to have a little waiting list in case people cancel. And I have openings on my trip next year to the Italian and French Riviera. I have openings for Peru, and I have openings for Iceland next year. And in 2026, I'm excited. I'm going to do a cruise on the Mekong River in Vietnam.
Awesome. Awesome.
So
That's what, in Vietnam?
yeah, it's really going to be it's supposed to be an incredible trip. And then you and I hope will do some things in the future as well. So
Right. Right. Okay. So, you want to start off with a question?
yeah, let me just get to it. Okay. Hi, Mel and Linda. This is Vicki Hansen. Do you see any natural disasters for Washington State in the near future? We have some inactive volcanoes out here in the Cascade Mountain Range. Thank you. I don't intuit any eruptions of volcanoes there.
Right. Right.
I think it's going to be a lot more rain than what they normally get, and flooding, but I don't see any volcanic activity.
Me neither.
Mm-mm.
I don't see any volcanic, but I do see some weather stuff and maybe a little shaker going on, but I don't see Armageddon. I'll tell you, poor Connecticut. 1,000-year rain happened like at bridges and homes, and South Carolina or North Carolina had a house that went out in the ocean.
Well, when Kamala wins, and we know she will win, she's surging ahead. Yay. I feel so happy to be a Chicagoan.
Yeah.
She's really going to focus on things we need to do to curb this runaway climate change.
Yeah.
I see world summits being called above and beyond the Paris Accord, and a reduction to our dependence on fossil fuels. So I see that coming within the next 4 or 5 years, and that will help to curb some of this climate change.
That's
That's
great.
my prediction.
That's great. Okay, so somebody asked, will Trump fake sick to get out of debate and or sentencing?
He's going to try to delay the sentencing. He's already trying that. This is all my intuition speaking, by the way. It's not Mel's, my psychic ability. But he might, with appeals, be able to get him to delay it a little bit. But I see the sentencing happening a lot quicker than Trump wants.
Yes.
He probably would feign an illness. I feel yes, but it won't work.
I mean, I don't care if he escapes to another country. Good riddance.
That's, people see that, but I
think he was thinking about it. I think he's got it on his list, but something happens that stops it.
He was thinking about it.
Yeah.
But my feeling is it's got to be a country that wouldn't extradite back to here. And if he does that, they're going to confiscate everything.
Right.
And so I don't know. I'm still worried about his health. Yes. I see he needs to pay attention to the head area, of course.
Yeah.
I'm worried about a stroke or something with him, but I don't wish him harm. But, as far as sentencing is concerned, he's going to try everything in the book to delay it, and he might succeed in delaying it a little bit, but not as much as he wants.
Well, he's going to use that I'm running for president bourgeois.
Well, good luck with that.
He's not only, it's okay for him to run, but he's not going to win.
He's not going to win. also, I think, who was the other part? Him feigning an illness to
To prevent sentencing and do the debate
to
September.
do the debate. Well, here's what he's going to say. I asked Kamala for a debate at Fox News on September, blah, 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 and she wouldn't debate me. That's what he's going to go with.
Well,
But
they're doing this one and there's 2 more he wants done, but I see her saying no.
I agree. He'll find some reason to pull away from it, but I don't think it would be illness.
Okay.
But his rantings and his ravings and his disjointed speeches, I mean, people were walking out. And we had predicted, I mean, you had predicted it, and I had predicted it, that a lot of Republicans would end up not voting for Trump and going Democrat. And here we are.
Yeah.
So.
And what do you think about Robert Kennedy talking to her, saying, if you put me in your administration, I'll step down and tell everyone to vote for you?
If he told everybody to vote for me, I would run.
Yeah.
I think the worm ate his brain. Sorry.
So you got another question?
I couldn't pass that one up.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to have much bearing on this election at all. Do you?
No.
It's the nothing burger, as you would say.
He's taking votes away from Trump.
Oh, he is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, this is a good one. I think we've already read on this before, but we'll try it again. Kathy Reagans. Hi, Kathy. How are you? Welcome back, Auntie Mel. Hello, Linda. My question is, do you both see the GOP possibly dropping Trump and going toward a more moderate Republican, maybe Nikki Haley? Blessings to you both.
I see they're talking about it amongst themselves, but they're really having a hard time breaking the chains of the billionaires that are sponsoring him.
I think they're talking about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can do that legally now or not. I just don't know.
And did you see Lindsey Graham?
No, I didn't. I've been gone. I didn't see much.
He said if Trump talks about the issues, he could become president of the United States. But if Trump goes in as the entertainer, the clown, he's not going to win.
Trump will never stick to the issues.
No.
But that just goes to show what many of us have predicted and intuited about Lindsey Graham, that he's such a chameleon and a backpedaler, and he'll go whichever way the wind is blowing. Yeah. I think he can grow a spine and at least stick up for something. And by the way, I predict psychically that this is probably the beginning of the end for Lindsey Graham as well.
Oh, I think so too.
I think so too.
So I had Andre and I did a show, and Andre was looking at that Holly.
You cheated on me?
No. Andre and I do shows all the time.
I know. I'm teasing.
And so he looked at Josh Hawley's chart, and he didn't really know the guy who I can't think of his name that's running against him. I said, is there any chance that this guy that's running against him could win? And what he did is he looked at the poll numbers. And oh no, he's way ahead. There's no way. Josh Hawley will probably win. And I was all disappointed. And then he wrote me later and he said, I looked up the chart of the other guy. There's a good chance this guy could win. So
I've always seen Josh Hawley go.
Me too.
And by the way, I do love to watch the shows with you and Andre. I was just when I said you cheated.
Okay, so did you want the next question? Or is it my question?
I think it's your turn. I don't know.
Will Kamala be received by our foreign allies? How will she be received? Will they have the same respect for her as they did with Biden?
They will absolutely love her.
Good.
Kamala Harris is going to be to this country what Queen Elizabeth was to Great Britain, albeit she won't be a queen, but everybody loved Queen Elizabeth. She was very well received, and she was always.
Well, Donald Trump said that she told him personally that he was the best president she ever had.
Okay, yeah. And an elf crawled up his leg and told him that he was the smartest person on the planet.
So she will be beloved.
She will. I mean, she's going to be widely accepted, but more importantly, respected.
There you go.
And she's going to be try to be a peacemaker, but she won't put up with any nonsense whatsoever.
Good, good.
She'll be tough.
I think you'll see an even more daggering aspect of her after
Oh,
she becomes president, after she's comfortable in the seat.
Wonder if she has anything in Scorpio.
She must, because I feel like she don't play.
She
It was
does.
like that in San Francisco. She don't play. You know,
She-
Nancy wasn't behind her.
I'm sorry, say again.
Nancy Pelosi initially wasn't behind her.
Right.
She even wanted somebody else to win as DA in San Francisco. And she campaigned for that person. But she was on some show, and Pelosi was, and she said, you know what? Ended up the person didn't win. Kamala won, and you know what? Hats off to her. She is really something. And she's campaigning for her now, but initially she was not.
Kamala has the charisma,
Yeah.
the personality, the intelligence, and the positivity to pull all this together. And rather than creating chaos and anarchy, which is what Trump wants to play on people's fears, she is playing on people's sense of hope.
Yeah.
And pulling us together and getting us to work together, regardless of our differences. And she's going to pull it off, Linda.
I'm telling you, she's going to win. And
There's
the
so
other thing,
many
you're
changes.
doing all these polls, but they don't understand that the millennials and the people who aren't in that group of focus groups.
Well,
Like,
she's
did you
surging
see
ahead.
that picture in Nebraska?
Yes.
The line of people waiting to watch her speak. That never happens.
Nebraska, right? I mean, come on. She's surging ahead in the polls. And Walz was a really good choice. I didn't know much about him.
I
but
love him.
But when I saw his speech, I cried. I was like, yes, this guy is going to bring in the vote from rural America for them. And I think he's going to be for the people in rural America.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of positive changes coming to this country with infrastructure, codification of LGBTQ rights, women's rights, a reinstating of Roe v. Wade, increase in minimum wages, better labor laws, a whole new
Hey,
court.
all this stuff, though, Biden was already working on.
He was working on it.
He had a lot of trouble ever since that Congress got one extra.
But it will come to fruition.
Yeah, it will. I'm looking so forward.
You know, the Republicans in the House are still, well, you know, Biden did these impeachable offenses. You know what? That is a nothing burger now. And the only reason they're doing that is to try to make it look bad for Biden and for Kamala. It ain't working.
Yeah.
It ain't
So
working.
Jackie wants to know, will the supervisor / mayor of Dalton, Illinois, Tiffany Henyard, be removed for her corruption and putting the city in deficit?
Oh, that's a hot story here.
Over $3 million for lavish spending and overpaying police officers.
Oh, yeah.
You know about this.
Oh, yeah. Everybody does, pretty much. You know, in Chicago, we have different townships. They're villages. So we're not a part of Chicago proper. We say Chicago because if you say Dalton, who knows where it's at? It's all in Cook County. But she, yeah, and there's a lot that's been uncovered about her and a lot more to be uncovered.
Is she Republican or Democrat, or do you know?
I think she's a Democrat. And I see her being removed. I see her being convicted.
Me too. I just saw that.
And she's going to end up in jail for a while. So yes, she will be removed. The answer to that is yes.
She couldn't help herself. She's a thief. That's what I heard.
You've got that absolutely right.
I just heard that. She couldn't help herself. She just kept digging in, and then she was covering the police so they would cover her.
Correct. But my feeling is the state is investigating it. And I feel like they're also going to call in the federal government because some of those funds that she pocketed
was federal money.
Was federal money. And I see her indicted in the federal system as well.
Yeah, I just heard shame on you. Shame on you.
Good.
Speaking of shame on you, let me throw this in real quick. George
Yeah,
Santos is going to get sentencing today.
he pled guilty.
Yeah, so what do you,
He did. I'm sorry.
is he going to serve jail time?
I feel yes.
Okay,
I also see him some point extradited back to Brazil because he did some crap there.
okay.
I
You heard
think
it here first.
I think he's under investigation there.
Yeah. Okay, now you ask me a question.
Okay, what is your name? No, teasing.
My name is Linda.
Do you think Donald Trump could answer that one?
Do I think Donald Trump needs an exorcism?
No, I said, do you think Donald Trump can answer that one? Maybe an exorcism too. Of course, I don't think any demon would want to be inside of him.
Now that I found out that the ladies in Slovakia watch me, it makes me think probably Putin's watching me too.
Oh, probably is. Hi, Putin. You know, just for the record, people that are afraid that Putin might invade Slovakia because it's right, it shares a border with Ukraine. The border was only about 3 hours away by car. I was never afraid, but the U.S. has 100,000 troops stationed there and in Poland. So if
Okay.
something else happens, they're at the ready. So we're not going to get caught with our pants down. I can
Well,
ease
let's
it.
talk about Putin because his days are numbered, my friend.
His days are numbered. I see Ukraine getting a lot more airplanes, a lot more
I
tanks.
see them getting carte blanche as far as, yeah, go on into Russia.
I see them getting a lot more anti-missile defenses. And I see Ukraine pushing Russia out.
That's what I see. And also I see, because Putin does not want to come to an agreement. He's not going to say, oh yeah, I keep what we initially took and you guys, no, you don't get nothing.
The downfall of the dictator is that when they're losing, they never admit defeat.
Yeah, and they get desperate.
And that's exactly what's going on with Trump here. People are worried that he might use nuclear weapons. Specifically, people are worried in Europe, as rightfully so they should
That
be.
that Trump would use nukes?
No, I'm sorry, that Putin would, that he would use dirty bombs and things like that. I don't know. I'm not
He
saying
knows better because then he's wiped out. That's it. He does one thing. And did you hear that he just said 14-year-old girls can now be forced into his military?
yeah, because he's got nobody else to fight. That's
Well,
what Hitler did.
good luck, because these parents aren't going to allow it.
That's exactly what Hitler did at the very end of the war. He put 12, 13, 14-year-olds into fight, not caring about their lives. So this is the beginning of Putin's end, absolutely. And I tell you, who else is going to be going arrivederci is Netanyahu.
I saw him going for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm almost feeling like for him, I'm almost feeling, and I've said this before, like he's kidnapped or he's shot or something. Like a specific agency is going to go in and like they did with, but they're going to act like he's innocent, but the people in Israel don't like him.
Oh, I just got cold chills when you said that.
I just saw these guys in black ops and I saw them going in, and because Blinken today announced to Gaza and to Israel, you no more, you guys need to end this.
Well, Netanyahu probably won't, but
no, but they're going to get rid of Netanyahu somehow.
He'll be gone very, very quickly.
I felt him sweating. I felt he knew. They might kidnap him and take him out and execute him. I don't know, but I saw something with him. But Putin, I'm almost feeling he's hiding somewhere. He's hiding in the ground somewhere.
Could be what you're feeling is maybe when he is arrested or whatever, that you're seeing a trial, because maybe because if he's assassinated, that would make him a martyr, and that's what they don't want.
No, not in Israel. He won't be a martyr.
No. Right.
No.
Okay.
No, not in Israel, because they can't stand him.
Yeah, I see him gone. But when you said that, I'm cold chill.
If there's a trial, remember, he's already got all kinds of subpoenas out there waiting to get him for crimes against humanity. Same thing with Putin.
No, I'm not talking about that kind of trial. What I'm talking about is like when I mispronounced his name, Ceausescu, Ceausescu, I think, when he was overthrown in Romania, he was arrested and they gave him just a really quick trial, like 5 or 10 minutes, and then he was taken out and executed. So are you feeling Netanyahu being executed?
Could be execution, but I saw him being taken. I saw his lifespan shorter.
Yeah, me too. I don't wish harm, but that's what I meant by trial execution, that sort of thing.
It's not the United States that's in on it at all, but it's like enough, we're done. It might even be the Palestinians have a group that are able to get in there and do that, but
you know, my light bulb just went on. I think
Uh-oh.
behind the scenes, a lot of countries are talking behind the scenes about how to get rid of Netanyahu.
yeah.
Ooh,
And they talked about Putin too, but it's very hard to get next to Putin.
yeah, but you're right. But I see Putin's own people bringing him down.
Oh yeah. His own army will turn against him.
You know what? I had said that too, that his generals would turn against him.
Yeah. Well, he's killing them. So of course they're going to turn around and snap back.
Is he really killing them, or are they just falling out of first floor windows?
He's executing them.
No, I was making it be a joke.
But the parents are very mad. They don't want their 14-year-old daughters to go into, no.
Well, who wants any of their children to go have to fight a war that shouldn't even be happening?
Exactly.
Okay. Is my turn, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I like this. Kathy Reagan's. Hi, hi, Kathy. Kathy's wonderful, by the way. Well, everybody's wonderful that supports us. My question is, how is Jimmy Carter doing? Does it look like he'll make it to cast his vote for Kamala in December?
In
I'm
November.
sorry. In November.
No. I got that earlier too. No. That's all I can tell you is no.
I see him voting for her, but it could be write-in because I see like the symbol of a hand flowing across paper. So I think it's going to be him.
Maybe it's early voting or something.
I'm sorry, not write-in.
You asked a question, I can only tell you, and this happened before. Somebody asked that, and my guys were very clear.
Not write-in. I'm talking like early voting. That's what I'm thinking.
No, that's what I heard. We can have different opinions. Okay, Highland and Mel. Will Social Security income ever be free from taxes?
It's a good question.
Absolutely, yes.
I hear yes, because I had written in my notes that with Kamala as president, and by the way, she will serve 2 terms.
Yeah.
That I see an increase in Social Security. And I feel that she's going to reduce the taxes on the middle class. And I feel that people over a certain age would no longer even have to pay income tax.
Unless they come to a certain income.
Within a certain income bracket.
Yeah.
And then they don't have to pay income tax, so the Social Security would be tax-free. The only thing they'd have to pay for out of that would be their Medicare.
Yeah.
So that's how.
You know, she's going to hit the rich just like Biden wants. She's going to hit the rich.
Well, I think she'll make it fair. That's what I see.
Well, hitting the rich is fair.
Oh, I agree. Fair taxation, right.
You know, even the rich are saying, you know, they pay less taxes than their secretaries. And they get all kinds of tax breaks. They were showing all the tax breaks Amazon gets and everybody. How is that? We don't get nothing.
Right. We don't even get a lot of workers, you know, they don't even want to give them minimum wage. They don't want to raise it, you know?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Ask me a question.
I talked to some people in England when I was there. And some of the people I talked to said with some of the jobs they haven't gotten a raise in 10 years. If you take a day off, you don't get paid. It was like, wow.
In the UK?
Companies, not for companies, but like if you work for some kind of maybe a private person.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Right. Okay. This is off the path a little bit, but Do you see the New Madrid fault going active in the next 6 to 10 months? I live in southeast Kansas, but a geologist friends say that if it goes active, we could still fill it in southeast Kansas because the ground is more firm in Missouri. Okay. I don't see anything with it.
I don't see anything. It will come up again, but not now. Could be a few years away.
Maybe some minor shakers or something, but I
Yeah.
don't see anything major.
So,
Okay.
Eileen says, will the Supreme Court undergo a cleanup of corruption?
I'm sorry, say again.
Will the Supreme Court undergo a cleanup of corruption?
Oh, yes.
I'm looking so forward.
Absolutely, yes. Wait, I've got it in my notes here, right here. I was jotting down some predictions here. Let me see. I just put like a new SCOTUS.
Yeah,
I see Clarence Thomas under investigation. I see him called to trial.
I see the IRS taking him to trial.
Yes, and also Alito. I see him in trouble. I put a new court, Thomas out, Alito out, Kavanaugh out, a new court. That's what I wrote.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. But listen, it's not going to really start happening until Kamala becomes president.
That's correct.
Because they're really praying and hoping that Trump will get in.
Oh, and by the way, the other thing I see overturned was that ridiculous decision they made on presidential immunity. Essentially, that decision made I watched Lynn Kirshner. I love him. He's incredible.
I love him. Yeah.
And he said it really made, they ruled to make the Constitution unconstitutional with that stupid, with that crazy rule about presidential immunity.
Oh my God. That's going to be overturned too, by the way.
Oh, the presidential
But
immunity?
also, Trump isn't president.
No, but I think what Glenn Kirshner was saying is that when they made that ruling about presidential immunity, that's not what it says in the Constitution. So
no, they lie, they fib, they add things.
the
Just
Constitution,
like that crazy woman in Florida. That's because that Thomas barely said, I don't think Jack Smith was put in correctly. And so she decided to drop. By the way, that's all going to happen. I see Jack Smith going in there and taking care of business with January 6th and with Florida.
I see the 11th Circuit Court overturning her decision of that dismissal. And I see people are going to come forward and say that there was collusion going on there. And I see her getting it. I see her into big trouble.
Like even losing her judgeship.
Oh, yeah. And investigated and possibly even indicted.
These guys have no clue what's coming. I'm telling you, there's so much that they're going to just be able to click them off, like each person standing there. All this MTG and Matt Gaetz, he's going.
It's going to be a huge house cleaning.
Yeah. And then even like if MTG gets in for another season, she's going to be yanked out because they're going to get her on the January 6th.
Either you're reading my mind or I'm reading yours, because I was just going to bring up MTG. I see her gone as well. You know, it's kind of curious. I wonder what she's feeling right now. I still think she's thinking that she is above the law and that she's thinking that she is still coming out on top. But
they talked about sanctions against her in Congress, but nobody moves because it's ruled mostly by Republicans. But they were giving the list of things she's done, and it's horrible.
Oh, there will be sanctions. There will be sanctions.
The things she says about people, how she treats other Americans. It's so egregious. It's amazing she's still standing. You think somebody would have just.
See, I just picked this up though. My light just went on. I've got a funny feeling intuitively that at some point after the election, she's going to be asked to step down. Because there's a lot coming out about her, that stuff she's pulled.
Okay. And I think she's in trouble with the federal government.
She is big trouble. I mean, I'm affirming what you said.
Yeah.
So, you know, because when we were talking about George Santos, I thought, the name that popped in my head was Marjorie Taylor Greene, and it was like same thing's going to happen to her.
She's got her coming. She's got her day coming, you guys. We
She
can't
certainly
be
will.
gleeful about it, which I hate to say, but
I'm
don't
sorry.
worry, her type, you will see how the universe is working. And that which is ugly and evil will end up being cast away. Cast
Well,
away. It's happened before, and the universe will do it again. And let me tell you something. Have you seen the outrageous amount of UFOs showing up everywhere? In California, we had tons of sightings recently.
maybe they're trying to tell us something.
Well, I think they are. I think the earth is shifting. I think we got some earthquakes coming in California. I can't tell you exactly where, but I can see a shifting. I see also Putin, as though he is thinking about doing something with nukes, but I see them being able to stop him.
I know he's thinking about it. I could feel it.
Yeah.
And people in Europe are nervous about it, but I don't see mushroom clouds or nuclear Armageddon. I just don't see that.
I don't see that either. Well, they'll stop it. So did you
I'm
have a
sorry?
question?
Oh, all right. Oh, this is good. All right. Sleepy says, hi, Mel and Linda. My 22-year-old son, who is Republican, claims that there's a video of Kamala saying that ages 18 to 23 are stupid and been brought to young voters to discourage them.
It's an AI
discourage them
video.
voting for her. Will this affect the young generation? Absolutely
It's a
not.
fake video. It's an AI video.
It's going to encourage them to vote for her more.
Yeah.
That's what I think too. So I'm not worried about it.
Here's a good question. After, this is a very good question. LeMans asked this. After Harris-Walz administration takes office, will they work on getting clean drinking water to every community in the USA?
Yes, there's going to be a focus on a reawakening of the environmental movement, you know, clean water, clean air.
Yeah.
Where was it where that water was so polluted? Was it I forgot what state it was, but
And even in Pearl Harbor, I watched an episode on 60 Minutes last night. They had before Pearl Harbor, they had tunnels underneath the ground that had jet fuel, and it leaked into the water, and they lied to everybody and said nothing's wrong with the water. The military did. And now they're suing like hell. But anyway, my son, who works for the water company, said that a lot of these pipes are just getting too old. The concrete ones are breaking, the iron, brass, I guess, is your best, right?
I don't know.
But
really.
also, we apparently made a lot of pipes in plastic.
Yeah.
Everybody said, oh, and it's cheap and it's plastic. And then what's happening is those are cracking.
Well, I think the politicians who, when the water is toxic and they say there's nothing wrong with it and they know there is, they should be forced to drink that water.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would cure that.
That would cure that. Well, that's what the military general said. I'm drinking the water right now as I'm telling you. It's perfectly all right. This guy said he washed his hands in the sink and he said, I smell like I do after I'm working in my shop.
No, it's awful. Okay. Here's a good one. Marlene Carnuto says, welcome back. Will
Thanks.
Trump be replaced on the ticket? We've talked about that. But will the Democrats lose House seats due to down voting? I don't see that.
I don't either.
I don't see that at all.
I see them adding seats in Senate. I saw the number 4. I could be wrong. And they'll definitely take over in Congress.
That's what I see, taking over
In
the
fact,
House.
Mike Johnson, the speaker, said, well, gee, guys, I don't know. the way things are going, if she keeps going up like this, we could very well lose the House.
In my notes before we started, see here at the bottom, Mike Johnson out, McConnell out. So there we
Oh.
have it.
I got something from Kathy and I like it because I wanted to talk about this. The United States Post Office employees are currently negotiating a new contract. Will this be settled soon or will Louis DeJoy continue to push back? I see DeJoy going. The other thing he just said is postal workers no longer get any overtime.
I see him gone after the election. I don't know how they're going to get rid of him, but they're
Well,
going to
they put in, what's his face? Biden just put in that real good, she was a congresswoman, what's her name? She's in there now. So now they have enough votes to get him out. I think they're waiting until after the election and then he'll go.
They are, and he'll be gone, by the way.
Definitely going. I know I've been telling you guys this for a while, but I promise you, he's definitely going.
There's going to be a lot uncovered about the crap he pulled as well. So that's how I see it playing out. Okay. But I see him gone. I see Mike Johnson out. I think Mike Johnson is really nervous. He's probably doing his pants because he knows he's going.
He's going. He's going. They will have no say. Their voices are shut off.
And the Democrats will not save his rear end this time. After they helped save his butt and then he turned against them. The only reason he showed up at that trial is because he thought Trump might make him the vice president.
But let me ask you something. Then we have another budget situation coming up. Would he be stupid enough not to give us a decent budget and shut it down?
Trump is a despot, and when a despot is losing, they'll do anything because they don't care about their constituents. They'll do anything to get even. Trump doesn't give one flying,
But
what.
I do see Mike Johnson not listening to Trump.
Trump doesn't care about his constituents. He doesn't care about this country. Doesn't about paying the bills. They're going to try some crap, like not to keep the budget, not to approve it. Blah,
Do you
blah,
see
blah.
how bad this works against them? If they do this, if they pull this, good luck getting votes.
Well, that's the whole thing, because Trump is losing. He probably want all of them to lose. But the bottom line is they're going to come to their senses and think, wait a minute, just because he's losing, if we don't pass this budget, we don't want to lose our seats either. And most Americans, I would say 95% of us, well, let me rephrase, maybe 80% of us or 85% want that money to go to Ukraine.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Switzerland, I think they're giving 436 million as we speak.
Right. Everybody's giving money.
Now's the time to go in for the kill. This is the perfect time to go in for the kill.
Well, here's why they're doing it, because they don't want Putin to take over Europe.
I know.
Eastern Europe. They want it stopped, and they will succeed in stopping it.
Well, his own people will turn against him.
And his own people will turn against him. And I'll tell you who else is going to be out of power, is I think it's Lukashenko in Belarus, because when Putin falls, so will that dictator of Belarus.
Okay. So listen, this will be our last question. Gija said she's worried about the DNC in Chicago. She wants you to be careful, Mel.
Oh,
What's it look like to you guys? I see a lot of really good. They're going to be able to stop a lot of this stuff.
I have absolutely no fear, but thank you for the concern. I'm not.
What happened when you got out of the airport?
Well, I'm not going to the city, not because I'm afraid. It's just because it's
right. But when you came out of the airport in Chicago,
when I got off at O'Hare, and at O'Hare, upstairs is departures, downstairs is arrivals, and I was at the international terminal. There were volunteers for the DNC every maybe 15 or 20 feet. They were there to help the delegates, the people coming in to attend the convention. I mean, it was a madhouse above and beyond what O'Hare normally is. And the atmosphere was electric.
I love it.
I was talking to the DNC volunteers and I said, how do I volunteer for this? They're like, it's too late now. I'm like,
yeah.
But yeah, they were helping, people coming in. And it was just absolutely incredible. You know, Chicago, it's electric right now. You can feel it in the air.
Good feeling. I love it. I love it.
It's incredible. It's just incredible.
I heard Kissinger's going to speak, and people are saying, "What do you think about that?" I say, "Good."
He's going to speak for the Democrats?
Yeah,
Oh, well,
because
yeah,
he hates Trump.
I know.
So they just want you to be safe, Mel.
Well, just for the record, I have a lot of friends that are Chicago police officers. Many of them work behind desks. Some of them are out on the streets, but all of them have been called to duty. And the ones who work behind the desk will be out wearing plain clothes, walking around just to make sure things are okay. So the security here is really, really, really tight.
Okay.
And I have to give the Chicago Police Department kudos for the security that they're providing. They're doing a great job.
Wonderful.
So
Okay. Well, thank you, my friend.
next Monday, we'll do
I'll
it
see you
early next
Monday. They won't know, but we're going to go a little earlier. Because
Anyway,
I haven't, oh, I know, next Monday, you guys, I'm getting what they call dot laser, also known kind of like a Fraxel. So my face is going to be blown up. But it's not plastic surgery, it's laser. So I might be a little reddish for a while. I might take a few days off.
what does it do exactly?
It cleans up like I've got a couple of dark marks here from old age, and it helps get rid of wrinkles.
Oh my
And
God.
any redness and stuff like that.
I should go for that, because if they ever did a facelift, they'd have to lift mine all the way up to the top.
I thought about a facelift. It was about 16,000 with my doctor, and I decided, nah, because I'm 70 going on 71. Nah, you know what? I'll just give it a little puff. Because if you have facelift, it tends to change your look.
Yeah, I know.
You look different. I don't want to look different.
As I said, if they gave me a facelift, they'd have to lift my skin all the way up to the top of the Sears Tower.
No. But anyway, yeah, so I'm just going to have a little something done before I go to Chicago the end of September.
You go, girl. You got to look pretty for Chi-Town.
Mm-hmm. And then I'll get my hair braided, not the ones on my head. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to look fabulous. All right, you guys, we love you very much.
All right.
And also prayers out for Dennis and Julie. Dennis got a nasty UTI that pert near went into sepsis. He's got a port right now. And Julie is giving him his injections every day so he could go home. Otherwise, they would have kept him in the hospital for 3 weeks.
My feeling is he'll go home soon. He'll make a full recovery.
He is home. Yeah.
And he'll make a full recovery very soon.
He looks great already. I saw a picture of him.
Good. I got a feeling they'll be with us. I got a feeling they'll be with us in Chicago.
They are coming. No more moonshots, you guys. Okay. All right, honey.
All right. Love you.
I love you too. You take care.
All right. Bye.
Cheers.